Welcome back to Hannity. Joining us now with more reaction to the liberal hypocrisy over hacking is the author of the best-selling book, Treason, former Speaker of the House, Fox News contributor Newt Gingrich. You also are coming out tomorrow with a brand-new book on Trump, right?
Yeah, we have a new book that's an electronic book on electing Trump. And I'm also tomorrow giving a speech at Heritage on the principles of Trumpism and how dramatic a change it's going to be for America. So, very exciting time for us. And this is, by the way, about as stupid as anything I've seen the left try.
I tried to say that, but you said it better.
No, think about it. Barack Obama is now saying that his administration was so incompetent that they stood around sucking their thumb while the Russians snuck in and hacked into an American election because of the utter incompetence of the Obama defense system. Now, I don't know why one would want to go make that case. I happen to believe Obama is amazingly incompetent about national security, but he's basically making the case that they now have to investigate whether or not the Russians hacked in, despite the Obama national security system. And we're now supposed to believe the guys who failed who are going to tell us why they failed, because it was the Russians who did it, because they were too stupid to protect the system. I mean, this whole thing will go down. This would be a parody. It would be a comedy if it was a movie.
If Trump did this, this would be labeled what it is, a conspiracy theory. You know, think about this. So we had, before the election, Project Veritas exposing Democratic officials wanting to incite violence to impact an election. We also had, of course, media expose colluding with the Clintons to impact an election and helping her cheat, going into town halls and debates and asking questions of the DNC that they can bury Trump with. And I'm thinking, nobody cared about any of that hacking, or 99% certainty that foreign intelligence agencies got into Hillary's email server. That didn't bother anybody either. What is your reaction to the hypocrisy? You're laughing.
Well, I have a whole new theory. No, here's my new theory, that they're right. The KGB did it, even though they've been gone for 20 years. The KGB came and they convinced Hillary to set up a truly stupid secret server. They then convinced Hillary to eliminate 33,000 emails, and they then convinced Hillary to lie about the rest. So it's not Hillary's fault, it's not Bill's fault, it's not the Democrats' fault. In fact, it's a secret Russian agent who undermined Hillary's ability to do anything competent. But she would have been a great president, except for the fact that this Russian kept manipulating her.
Okay.
Now, I mean, how do these people live with this stuff?
There is zero, understand, since before the election, zero new evidence, not one bit, not one iota. At the end of the day, the CIA, the FBI disagree on the interpretation. The only thing that shifted is they took the same information they had way before the election and they put a new spin on it to politicize it. And the media is falling all over themselves when they didn't care about Hillary's email or their collusion.
This is the perfect example of what I'm starting to call the propaganda media rather than the news media. The propaganda media tells you whatever they need to tell you for their left-wing values because they can't stand the truth. And so rather than covering the new president, I mean, look how well Trump was received at the Army-Navy game. Look at the outpouring of affection and enthusiasm. Well, if you are the propaganda media, that drives you crazy, and you got to grab something to try to smear him, so they do.
Well, I don't know what to make of all of this, except that to me, it's about delegitimizing Trump. Now, when I said a while back, I made the statement that Julian Assange has done America two favors. He is exposed beyond any doubt. We don't have any working cybersecurity, and that gives us an opportunity to fix it. Number two, he exposed just how deeply, fundamentally corrupt not only the DNC is, but also America's news media. And he's done us a favor, probably inadvertently, but it's been a favor. And they've done nothing in all of that time to fix it. So if there was any influence, who would get the blame? I would argue Obama, since WikiLeaks now has been out there 10 years.
Look, I don't, but let's be really clear. I don't believe that the Russians carried Pennsylvania. I think Donald Trump did. I don't think that the Russians carried Wisconsin. Donald Trump did. I don't think that the Russians carried Michigan. Donald Trump did. The problem the left has is they cannot come to grips with the reality that the American people are turning against them, that the American people have defeated them. And frankly, if the election were held today, the margin would be even bigger because people have now begun to realize that Donald Trump is not in any way the kind of things that the New York Times and the Washington Post said he was.
He's not the caricature that they tried to paint leading up to the election. But the country, we really do need to wrap our arms around cybersecurity. And probably the person that put us in most jeopardy was Hillary. And when there's a 99% chance that at least 5 foreign intelligence agencies hacked into her top secret special access programs on her server that was in a mom and pop shop in a bathroom closet, you know, maybe they should have shown a little concern about that too, but they didn't.
Well, look, I mean, that's the tragedy of this whole thing. What it does is it trivializes the serious. There were really serious security problems. They would normally be, I think, jail time for things on this scale. And only her political nature has saved her from going to jail. And
well,
I
that
think
might change.
We have really people need to confront how serious it was.
Look, it's not Donald Trump's call. I know he said he doesn't want to bring any pain to the Clintons, but won't that be the decision of the Justice Department,
sure,
our incoming Attorney General? It won't be Donald Trump's decision, will it?
Absolutely. No, and the new Attorney General may decide to appoint an independent counsel, so there's no question of any kind of political agenda. But I think it's ironic that for the New York Times and the Washington Post, they can't cover the things that are real, so they have to make up junk in order to hide behind the noise.
Well said. All right, Mr. Speaker, good to see you. Thank you for being with us.